Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash, double honors to my apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and taught me this truth, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. I'm going to do a video basically on a breakdown of UFOs, alright, what the world calls UFOs, alright, because it was on my spirit. I was doing a little bit of research on them, so I'm just going to do a video basically explaining them and what they have in relation to the Bible. All right, because when you read the scriptures, all right, you multiple times throughout the Bible, you have the word chariot that will pop up. And all a chariot is a vehicle. All right. Back in the ancient day, what men would ride on, when they would go to war, and what they would just ride on in general, it would be called a chariot. All right. And that would be, if you look it up, it's like a two-wheeled vehicle with a horse pulling it. All right. And when you look up chariot, that's more than likely the image that you're going to find. But all a chariot is a vehicle. And in the scriptures, you have chariots of the Lord. And when you look at these certain verses, which I'm going to get, it's unexplainable by the common knowledge that people have in church and everywhere else. They don't go into what the chariots are, what the clouds are. You have different code names for the angels and the vehicles that they ride around in the scriptures. And I'm going to show you what the Bible, what the word that these so-called, what the world knows as UFOs, unidentified objects, they're IFOs. They're identified objects because we know what they are. They're the angels, and they ride around in the UFOs. And Esau will paint them out to be things, little green men from Mars. No, that's not the case. They're simply the angels of the Lord that watch this whole earth. All right. So let me start off with Psalms 104, and I'm going to go look at verse 3. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at 1. Bless the Lord, O my soul. O Lord, my power, thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty. All right, so this verse is talking about the Lord, who you people ignorantly call God. His name is Yahweh. He has an ancient Paleo Hebrew name. His name is Yahweh. All right, and he will be looked upon as a so-called black man if you were to see him. And his only begotten son's name is Yahweh Shai. It's not Jesus Christ, it's Yahweh Shai. In verse 3, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters. All right, here's the point. Who maketh the clouds his chariots, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. So now what we're getting into is the vehicles of the Lord. Because it said who maketh the clouds his chariots. All right. Now, when you read something like that, and we obviously know, like I said, a chariot is what is a vehicle. So you're asking yourself, how does the Lord make the clouds his chariots? Well, that cloud that it's talking about is an angel. All right, the vehicles that the angels move around in, and they can cloak themselves, so to say, in the form of a cloud. All right, because the angels don't move around in a literal cloud. All right, that ball of water, they're not on top of an actual cloud. That's just a code name for their vehicles. All right, they're sometimes known as a cloud. Okay, in this verse, in this chapter, you can't explain this. You can't explain this. No church pastor can explain this chapter because it goes against their common sense. All right, because what you're going to find out is what this truth is. When the Lord visits this place known as America and various parts across the earth, you're going to have crazy things happening, supernatural things, so to say, happening. All right, and one of them being the chariots. You're going to have a mass so-called UFO invasion, which is nothing but the Lord coming back, Yahweh Shai coming back. You're going to have a mass invasion of what you people call UFOs, but we know them to be the angels of the Lord. You're going to have that. You're going to have different apparitions coming, which is basically demons and whatnot messing with people. So you're going to have the day of the Lord is like none other seen on the earth. It's going to be all these horror movies in one. All right. But the big part of them is the angels. When the angels come back with the chariots. All right. And like I said, verse 3, Psalms 104:3, in the middle of it, who maketh the clouds his chariot. So that cloud is talking about the angels. All right. Those are the Lord's vehicle. You think that you people can have vehicles and cars, but the Lord can't have vehicles of his own? All right. So the vehicles of the Lord are the chariots, the angels. All right. Now let's get all right. And it has to be a so-called well, let me just say this, because when you got different people out there who may believe in the Bible, but they don't know about UFOs. Or you ask them if you think, hey, let's use the term UFO for now. You ask them, hey, do you think UFOs are real? Well, they'll say no. And they obviously don't know that it has anything to do with the scriptures. All right. But there is undeniable proof that if you look at it from a worldly perspective, that there is different life out there besides us. All right. Which is not aliens. Like I said, it's not green men. It's the angels in the vehicles. But if you don't know any better, then you're going to think that it's actually aliens roaming about out there, But let me get this, because when Yahweh Shai, after he got resurrected, how Yahweh Shai left was by ways of a chariot. And I'm going to prove that. Acts 1:9. And when he had spoken these things, talking about Yahweh Shai, well, they beheld he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. Now, what did we just read in Psalms 104? That the Lord maketh the clouds his chariot. All right. So you got to ask yourself, did a literal cloud appear above Yahweh Shai and he got absorbed into the cloud? No, that cloud is talking about UFOs, what the world knows as UFOs. They're the angels. All right. So Yahweh Shai, he left, he got taken up by a chariot, an angel of the Lord. Verse 10, and while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahweh Shai, which is taken up from you into heaven, all right, into that chariot, shall so come in the like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. So you got to read this scripture if you have never read it before, and you got to ask yourself, what does that mean? It said that Yahweh Shai is going to come the same way he left. And we're reading that he left by ways of a cloud. And now that we've identified what that cloud is, we know that the same way that Yahweh Shai left, he's going to return. And how did he leave? By way of a chariot. So when Yahweh Shai visits this world, when he comes with the holy angels to bring judgment, it's going to be by way of the chariots, man. The angels and the vehicles that they ride around in. So that's why I say you're gonna have because the Esau will deem it, he will try to deceive you, because Esau knows what the chariots are. That's why he has NASA, which is set up to monitor and view the angels, so they can start preparing to fight against Yahweh Shai when he comes back. All right, that's really all NASA is that they're just watching the angels. All right. But that's why I say you're going to have a mass so-called UFO invasion on the day of the Lord. All right. You're going to have angels, man, covering the sky in these chariots. And then you're going to have Yahweh Shai. He's going to come in that fathership that's spoken of in 2nd Esdras, what's that, 13, I believe. All right. He's going to come in that fathership, which is going to be the biggest chariot of them all. All right. But now let me get Matthew 24. All right. These basic scriptures, but this is proving the point of what the so-called world deems as UFOs actually are. Is Matthew 24, and I'm going to start at 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Again, that word cloud. All right, what does it mean, the clouds of heaven? Like I said, you don't have the everyday clouds that you look up in the sky with. Those are talking about the angels and the vehicles that they move around in. Verse 31, and he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of the earth from one end of heaven to the other. All right. And that can be known as alien, what the world calls alien abduction, when you have people being beamed up inside the chariots. That's what's going to happen. But like I said, we know it's not aliens. It's the angels coming to deliver us. It said he shall send his angels. All right. So when the day of the Lord comes, Yahweh Shai, once we've been proven, all right, then the angels are going to come and they're going to beam us up. They're going to deliver us from this destruction. All right. But then again, that word, the why I got it, it says he's going to come with clouds of heaven. Those clouds of heaven is not just clouds, man. It's chariots. All right. And chariots are not bound by the physics of this world. All right. Chariots are not bound by the physics of this world, man. And we proved that with the Ezekiel, or rather, let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Ezekiel. All right, because you have something called the Hesdelin lights, I believe that's what it's called. And the Hesdelin lights are lights that appear above Norway. All right, every, I think, I don't know, like May or October. All right. And there's certain lights that appear above Norway that scientists can't explain. But we know that the Hesdelin lights are nothing but chariots. And what they'll do is they'll appear and they'll look like, from a far away, they'll look like little balls of fire, you know. And then they'll be moving to and fro, and they don't change in which direction they go in. But the scientists, that's one of the big, what Esau claims, the mysteries of the earth that scientists can't explain, is the Hesdelin lights, you know. And Esau is going all the way back to 83 was when they first did their first documentary or their first studying of the Hesdelin lights. So it's been years in which Esau cannot explain what they are. You know, because they don't, the way they move is so out of the normal. All right. And I'm going to show you how they move with the scriptures. All right. It's Ezekiel 1 and 4. I'm going to start at 4 and I'm going to jump down to 9. So you know what I'm talking about. Ezekiel 1 and 4. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud and a fire enfolding itself. All right. We already know what these clouds are, these whirlwinds are. It's the chariots. It's the angels. It says, and a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire. All right. But yeah, because chariots, angels, when you look at them, they can sometimes look like balls of fire. Matter of fact, that's what they look like majority of the time. All right. Or at least, I mean, I've seen, you know, few, but I've seen some chariots, angels before. Or chariots rather, the vehicles they ride around in, and every time I've seen them, they've looked like balls of fire. So majority of the time, that's what it's going to look like. That's why they call them the Hesdelin lights, because they look like little lights, little balls of fire in the sky. All right. Now I actually forget what color amber is. All right, so I guess it's like a little bronze. All right. The chariots have all sorts of colors, man. Now I'm going to jump down. Now, from verse 5 to 8, it's like describing the appearance of the angels. All right, now I'm going to jump to 9. It says, their wings were joined one to another. They turned not when they went. They went forward. They went every one straight forward. Now, this actually wasn't the precept I was looking for, but it still goes into it. It says, they turned not when they went. Because angels, like I said, in the chariots, they don't abound by the laws of physics. They just move. They'll go wherever the spirit has them to go. They'll simply just go. They don't have to turn when they go. You know, unlike what we're used to is you're running, all right, and then you'll turn your legs to the right. It'll go right, left, left. The chariots are not bound by the laws of this world. They'll simply just move in whichever direction they want to move. All right. Now, I only got a few more verses precepts to get, you know, because like I said, the whole point is that the UFOs are known as the chariots in the Bible, or the clouds in the Bible, and they're gonna that's how the Lord Yahushua is visiting this place. He's visiting them with the chariots, and he's going to be dishing out destruction. You know, it's not going to be anything cool to look at. The chariots are going to be beaming people. The scriptures tell you that. All right. The chariots are going to be dashing and spewing out fire and burning these people, man. All right. Because at one point you got to ask yourself, what are the UFOs? You know, when you're in the world, you may hear about them, but you got to ask yourself, yo, what really is that? What are they, man? And you know it's real, because you do got some what the world calls UFOs. You got some chariot sightings in the that are fake, that do look fake. But when you're in the world, you can't distinguish between the real and the fake. But you definitely know something's out there, man. You know that there's something out there, but you don't know what it is. In the church, if you're supposed to be a prophet, you're supposed to be able to know what that is. You're supposed to be able to identify that, yeah, those are the chariots, the angels of the Lord. Because the Lord's not just going to have some damn green men from Mars flying around, and we're not supposed to know what the hell they are, man. Those are the chariots, all right, and they definitely are real, because the first, they say the Wine brothers or whatever first created the first plane in 1903. All right, or I think maybe even before that, but the first chariot sighting was in 1639. So it was way before when the first plane was created. So what does that tell you? That chariots, they do exist, and they are real. All right, they do exist, and they are real. Okay. Let me see. I'm seeing if I had any other precepts to get. Okay. All right. Well, that seems about everything that I wanted to cover on. You know, like I said, I just want to do a lesson on the chariots. You know, they're what the world knows as UFOs. They are the chariots of the Bible. All right, and they are real. They do exist, and they're going to deliver us in these end times. Those where we're part of the elected. Chariots are going to deliver us. You know, like I read in Matthew 24, they're going to beam us up. All right, so with that, all praises to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakar Kodash, double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.